What follows is for news and entertainment purposes only. Any use of the forthcoming information in violation of any federal, state, or local law is prohibited. Mike North, you are on fire.
You know anybody else that good?
No.
No, they'll tell you they are. They may think they are, but we're documented every single week. The eye is on us.
That's
and I ain't
right.
talking about the eye of CBS, the public eye. The first feeling I got when I won a bet was elation. The worst feeling was when I lost a bet and I wanted to jump off a balcony.
Give me a quick betting tip.
Yeah, do win and don't lose, but usually it doesn't always work out that way. How many times you heard this? I'm going to Vegas. I go, how'd you do? Well, if I lost $4,000, but you go there to have fun. No, you go there to win. And that's what's wrong with people. They have the negative mentality in anything they do, including sports, before you even lay the bet down. So you got to be positive. Vegas Scores and Odds is the landing place that gave me an opportunity to handicap. They let me show what I could do, and there's packages, there's free picks. What does Vegas Scores and Odds do when you perform? They reward you, and they take care of you, and that's why we're ready to do this show.
The Vegas Scores and Odds Advantage with Mike North starts right now. The war drums are out, and that's because Vegas Scores and Odds Advantage with Mike North means business. My name is Aldo Gandia. I am Mike's wingman, and for the next 60 minutes, we have tons of NFL, Major League Baseball, and some college football talk coming at you. Plus, we've got to talk about the Antonio Brown situation. Let's bring in Mike now. Mike North, how are you, my friend?
I'll tell you what, Aldo, I'm exhausted. That's what I am. We've been cutting our commercials, getting ready for Westwood One premiere. I'm hearing ESPN now. I'm hearing rumors to the contrary. It's great to see you. It's always good to see you, my friend. I'm here live at the Bears Barroom Studios in scenic Arlington Heights, Illinois. Beautiful. I finally got here without any difficulty. Finally figured out a way to get here. But it's all good. The chat board's open up for business,
That's
folks.
right.
And before we go anywhere, let me just tell everybody, Vegas Scores and Odds. It's all you have to remember. Also, for the free recorded message line, 1-800-813-9646, 1-800-813-9646. Call, get the handicappers, get all the great guys, Denny Macklin, Hollywood, Tony the Sacco. Are you kidding? And yours truly, Mike North, 204 games over 500. I had a great week this week at Vegas Scores and Odds. Really great Sunday, 4-1. Great. I mean, who had Coastal Carolina besides me? Nobody. I don't even know where Coastal Carolina is. I think it's off the coast of Carolina. That's all I know. But I had a great Saturday, great Sunday, 2-2 Monday with the Denver and New Orleans games. So you know what? It's if you're going to have an average day, make sure it's an average day of 2-2. So it was absolutely outstanding. For the toll-free lines, always call 1-800-813-9646. We got a bunch of great games coming up. I have 3 picks for tonight. We'll have our podcast on right after the show's over today. So Aldo, I'm going to go now because I'm going to go check in. We've done these commercials. We're going crazy over here. The place is busy. It's like it was once a dormant factory. Now it's got 800 sewing machines.
That's right.
What can I tell you?
That sound in the background is 800 sewing machines.
That's right. That's what we do. We're in the garment district. We're in the garment district of sports.
I'll tell you something. It is so awesome to work with a pro. You were knocking off these commercials like bang, 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 like those sewing machines. Just unbelievable.
Hey, you know what? I'm a human assembly line, baby. Just keep rolling them out, keep rolling them out, keep rolling them out. Just like we keep rolling these shows out.
Yep. How about it, man?
Absolutely. How many shows we've done? I mean, now this is, of course, not the Mike North advantage anymore. This is the Vegas Scores and Odds advantage. By the way, we went from 485 on followers. Now we're up to about 579. Okay, so we're about 21 away from that 600 mark, folks. So help pass the word around. We have 10,000 almost at Bears Barroom. So all the Bears Barroom folks, hey, just get some. You never know. I got tidbits coming up all the time at Vegas Scores and Odds.
Yeah, indeed. And one of the tidbits that I think we should start with is Antonio Brown. He needs your advice because that guy is in trouble, man. I'm telling you, tons of stuff going on. Bill Belichick, the New England Patriots head coach, I think he could probably use some of your advice too on how to deal with the media, because it did not go real well this morning when he was faced with questions after he issued a prepared statement. Then the media jumped in, and this is what it sounded like.
Bill, were you aware of the lawsuit when you signed Antonio Brown?
I'm not going to be expanding on the statements that have already been given.
Don't you think the fans deserve to hear a little more from you on
When we know
such a
more, we'll
major
say more.
development that could impact the team?
Yeah, I just said that.
Don't you think fans deserve to hear a little bit more?
When we know more, we'll say more.
That is not a good situation there. He is not saying that they knew or didn't know. They knew. They knew he was in the lawsuit when they signed that contract.
I don't know that. Do you know that for sure?
No, absolutely. I'm just guessing.
I'm just saying, I don't know if they knew that. But if they didn't know that, shame on them. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know what? They always talk about background checks. This guy is a bad apple. He's been a bad apple since day one.
Yep.
I'm not saying he's telling the truth there. I'm not saying she's telling the truth there. It's just one thing after the other. This guy couldn't have. I mean, if he would have really basically, I want to know, if he takes the Oakland money, does this ever come out? Mm-hmm. And this trainer, now they're saying he's saying it was consensual. Maybe it was. Mm-hmm. Because you know what? There's like a 2-year span.
Yeah, you don't know with these things.
You know, my deal is, I mean, you have a problem with the guy in 2017. Don't tell me you went back in 2018. Mm-hmm. If you had a problem then, did you call the cops? Was there notification? This is a civil suit. Do you want to go to court? So, you know what? He's a bad apple. We're not hearing the end of this. I was on the Odds Couple. By the way, folks, the Odds Couple on AM 1000. Aldo loves the show.
I really do.
Right after Bonanza and the Rifleman, the Odds Couple. Of course, our show here is fantastic, but I was 4-0 on the Odds Couple this coming week, and you know what? I had said on the Odds Couple with Carmen DeFalco Friday night, when it was made apparent that he was going to play, I said, you know what? We still got a long weekend. Mm-hmm. A long weekend, Carm. He goes, yeah, I know. You know, Carm is. I go, yeah, we still got a long weekend because he could open his mouth tomorrow. And he did. And it was over. And the next thing you know, he's being signed by New England. See, I don't know what happened with him and this girl. I'm suspicious of the New England deal.
Yeah.
That there was contacts made.
Yeah.
Early.
Yeah.
What happens if that's found out?
Yeah.
And then he checked out social media consultants.
Yes.
To find out how to get out of a deal through social media.
Oh my goodness.
Call me. Give me a couple hundred. I'll tell. Just say go screw yourself on Twitter. I hate all of you. I hate the town of Oakland. Give me my 200. What the hell? Everybody on Twitter had people mad at them at one time or another. Nobody needs a consultant I could come up with 10 different ways to get people mad at you.
Exactly.
My God.
What do you think Roger Goodell is doing now? Because here we are heading into week 2 of the NFL, and the main story everybody's talking about on ESPN Sports Center, on Fox Sports, everywhere is the Antonio Brown situation.
Every time there's something like this, it's a mess, and he's involved because he's been the commissioner through some trying times.
He really has.
Before there was even a domestic abuse of policy. When companies like Colgate, Palmolive, old companies have, domestic abuse policies in place, and the NFL doesn't, that's a problem. Right. And it's always uncomfortable. Just like I heard people talking about it today. It's an uncomfortable situation.
It really is.
And, Roger Goodell, besides being the man I envisioned, if Archie grew up in the comics, he would be the adult version of Archie. You know what I mean? He doesn't do anything. You don't hear from him. And they're doing their investigation. And in every city, you have 2 random or 2 guys on retainer, security guys on retainer.
Right.
So we'll see what happens here. But it's not a good situation anyway, and New England didn't want this. And it's sort of uncomfortable after the Bob Kraft thing.
Yeah. Exactly.
The masturbation deal seems to be spreading in New England. Allegedly with Bob Kraft, and now here.
Do you think Tom Brady is taking back the invitation he offered to Antonio Brown to live in his house?
It would take you 10. It would take you 10 minutes just to walk to the other side of the house.
Giselle has plenty of places to hide. Right?
She could sleep in room number 200. It would take him eight hours. No, you know what? We'll see what happens. But you know what? He says it's consensual. She says it isn't. So we'll see what happens.
I hope it all gets worked out. It's a very.
You know what? If it does, it does.
Gosh.
If he doesn't, he deserves what he gets. But you know what? You just can't. With what's going on and with a lot of the fake news lately, or with people, people lie now.
Somebody's lying here.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Somebody is, yeah. Well, and what we know from a football side is that he did practice with the team for the very first time. He was wearing number 1. I guess they were really
it's good
ready.
He's not into himself.
Well, he didn't pick the jersey.
I haven't even gotten a number 1 jersey yet. And nobody's a bigger fan of me than me.
So Belichick was asked if he was going to play on Sunday, and this is against the lowly Miami Dolphins. It's not like they need him.
I think we can play Sunday against Miami. They were horrible. You want to talk about now? That's a tanking team.
Oh my!
They
goodness.
traded Townsend, and they traded. I'll tell you what. It's an ugly situation. Miami was such an excellent franchise for years, sort of like the Raiders.
Yeah.
The Raiders may be back. I don't know. Isn't it amazing? Antonio Brown doesn't play and they win.
Yeah,
so.
and they win easily too. Yeah, but you're absolutely right about the Dolphins. There's
19-point favorites.
Yeah, there's players on that team that have been calling their agents saying, "Get me off this team."
Sort of like me when I first met you after about a couple months. No, are you kidding me? I've been happier. You know what? Here's what I do know. These guys, get me out of here. Man, they got it so made. You're in the National Football League. You know what I mean? And you're playing. See, to me, if I got a contract and some of those guys may want to get off the Dolphins and there may not be a job for them.
Yeah, right.
If you may be good enough to play for the Dolphins, that don't mean you're good enough to play for the other 29 teams. Be careful what you wish for.
Yes.
If I had an NFL contract and I played for a team that was Owen, I'd hate to lose. I would hate it so bad, but man, I'd be in the league.
Well, I'll tell you one thing though. If it's true, if this report is true that players are trying to get out of there, then I applaud those players because they want to win. At least they've got the will to win or the desire to win and not play for a team that's purposely
Have
tanking.
we got any names yet?
No.
Is there anybody worth a damn on that team that we want?
There's a few guys. I like that tight end from Penn State, Mike Gesicki, because right now the Chicago Bears don't have a very good tight end situation. In fact, Matt Nagy was asked about the tight end situation. How about that for a segue? Huh, Mike?
I love that. We're right into the Bears.
Trey Burton.
Got rid of Antonio Brown. He's on the tip of everybody's you-know-what.
That's right. Matt Nagy was asked today about Trey Burton and whether he's ready to go, and this was what the coach said.
It's the same thing. Nothing has changed. We're going to take it day by day. I just got to see how he feels each day, and then if it takes us up until the end of the week or a game time type thing, then I'm okay doing that. We literally got to see where he's at by day, and if he feels good and he's ready to go, we're going to go. If he doesn't, then we won't.
I'll tell you one thing, Mike. He's needed on this offense. This offense needs a pass-catching tight end, and right now the Bears cannot rely on any of those tight ends that they have on the active roster. Adam Shaheen is looking more and more like a draft bust. Man, that guy.
They're all looking like the tight end situation is drastic.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're coming off a bad loss, and the Denver Broncos right now. I'll tell you what happened here. The Bears were 1.5 point favorites. Now they're up to 2.5 point favorites after the loss with Denver on Monday night. So I had the system. I checked the system on this game. This is a game. Ask me if I think who's going to win. I can't tell you.
Harp 4803 was just asking that question.
I can't tell you.
He's saying, Mike, does the Denver dog at home look good? He's serious. He's leaning towards them for the money.
You know what? It's still as bad as the Bears played. They held Green Bay to 10.
Yeah.
And that's what you got to think about.
Right.
The Raiders look like the Raiders of the 80s.
Right.
And they're not supposed to.
Really?
And I don't know if I'm a big Joe Flacco guy, but I don't know if Denver's the real deal. And the Bears looked bad on Monday night or on Thursday night. This team looked bad on Monday night. And yet they're playing at home, and the Bears come walking in. Maybe because of the hype. Maybe because of what they did last year as favorites.
Yep.
So I would lean Bears, but I checked this game knowing we were going to go on here. Yes, that's right, folks. I do my homework. This don't happen by accident. And I can't tell you, if you ask me, Mike, you have to make a decision. I would just be guessing.
Yeah, well, and that's why I love your formula where there's some games you just don't bet.
You can't bet this game. Just like last week there was games in the NFL. I said pass on, including Miami.
Yep.
I said pass on that game. Mm-hmm. I mean, I hit on big games like Cincinnati last week where they were getting points against Seattle. They only lost by 1 point. Mm-hmm. I hit on the under with the Jets. That's another team that everybody's disappointed in. Hey, look, we're not the only ones. Mitch Trubisky's not the only quarterback that people have questions about. Sam Darnold.
Oh, my goodness.
Baker Mayfield.
Yep.
I mean, well, people go, well, look what he did last year. Well, look what Trubisky did last year.
Yeah, all right. So
we're one good game away from that. But I don't, look, people are saying it's too late now, but I can't stress to you. Boy, the mic just got lively here.
Did it?
Yes.
It must be the headphone because the levels are still the same. So something
Thank
happened
God.
with the headphone.
All right. If I'm screaming, don't worry about it, folks. but what I'm going to tell you is the Bears aren't the only team that have issues. I mean, you have look at tonight. You know, I mean, Thursday night, you're going to have Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
They've been waiting for him for
goodness.
3-4 years.
I think they're going to wait a lot longer, too.
Look at Detroit. They were winning like 18-0. They let Arizona tie them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so we'll see what happens. Everybody could turn around. The Bears could have a great game, and then what we're going to be ended up doing is, hey, guess what? You know what? We're going to have hope again.
Right.
I think the big game for us to watch this week, besides the Bear game, of course, is Green Bay, Minnesota.
Yeah, that's huge. That is huge.
At Green Bay.
At Green Bay, and the Vikings are going to use the same formula they used in Week 1, which is run the ball, something that Matt Nagy failed to do against the Packers.
Oh.
So, what's his name? Kirk Cousins, the quarterback for the Vikings, only threw 10 passes in that Week 1 win. He might throw 10 or 12 passes in Week 2. He probably doesn't like that, but it's a winning formula for Zimmer. Just get a lead and run the ball and let that Vikings defense go to work on the Packers, but that is going to be a huge game.
So, in other words, do against Green Bay what we didn't do. Run the ball.
You got that. I think that's the formula.
You know what? I got to be honest with you. There were guys wide open for the Bears, and Trubisky missed them.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, he didn't see the whole field.
You're right.
Those guys waving. I hate when they show those replays like you're fighting for your life to win the bet, And they go, oh, there is probably nobody open. Then they show like guys with flashlights flashing them in the eyes. I'm open. So maybe, I mean, Kirk Cousins, I think they'll mix it up a little bit. I think they will pass more than 10 times. Don't forget who you're in a game with here, with Aaron Rodgers. It's a big deal here. Aaron Rodgers now. They got away again, just like last year. I mean, Soldier Field's a real good place for them. So I like I got to be honest with you. I don't know who I like in that game, but I think there's going to be points scored. Yeah. I do.
Well, it's going to be interesting because
I think the Bears should have scored 17 points at least.
Oh, absolutely.
Trubisky it was his deal. It was him and Nagy. Yeah. And they didn't run enough. They didn't, you know what? And they gave, and you're holding, when you hold Aaron Rodgers to 10 points, Green Bay to 10 points, you're supposed to win that game.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you. You should definitely win that game. Also, what's interesting about this game, which I think from your standpoint as a handicapper that makes it very difficult to call, is just the familiarity that Vic Fangio has with the Chicago Bears and Matt Nagy and the Chicago Bears have with Vic Fangio's defensive tendencies. So it's like these guys know each other really well.
Vic Fangio looked like Brooks from Shawshank. He was looking for a rope the other night, wasn't he? Hey, remember when it was safe upstairs, being an assistant?
Yes.
He looked like my Uncle Tony. The guy that belches at the table at family get-togethers. You know what I mean?
Yes.
He aged 10 years in that game.
He did. And the Denver fans have had it. They are already calling for Fangio's neck on that, speaking of Brooks.
Did they boo him?
I don't know if they booed.
Because you know how we feel about booing guys that don't perform.
That's right. Eddie Jackson.
My God. Zip it up, will you, kid? Just intercept the pass, please. We need turnovers.
Yeah, how about that?
Don't start getting on the fans. That's how we sing.
Hey, Vic Fangio today was asked about Khalil Mack and what was his reaction to the acquisition of Khalil Mack last year. And Fangio said, frankly, I didn't really know much about the guy because
But I'm a head coach now because of him. Why didn't he just finish the damn station? I didn't know much about him, but guess what? He was the hot-looking girl you thought you weren't going to see walking in the bar at 1:59, right before closing time, going, come on. All of a sudden, he was Vic Fangio was a genius. Right?
Yeah, well,
He's a head coach because of the guy.
Yeah, it is so true. This is what Fangio told the media about his reaction to Khalil Mack.
And with him in Oakland and me in the NFC, I really didn't see him play a lot. And then when we got him, and it was just after a few days, it was like, holy shit.
Yeah, holy shit is hopefully what he's going to deliver on Sunday against Joe Flacco, the immobile Joe Flacco.
I got to be honest, Pagano did a good job.
Yes.
I mean, if we want to start talking,
thank you.
Pagano did a damn good job. It was the head coach who didn't get the job done.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I've had faith in Pagano running this defense because, hey, first and foremost, it always starts with the players, and the players are good. This defense has
but
really
they
good
were
players.
talking. Remember, we were on the air talking about dynasty and all this other stuff. Shut up. Just try to win the division, man. Try to do it 2 years in a row. It's not easy.
Yeah.
You got people. Hey, I'll guarantee you this: Detroit can score. I watched them.
Yes.
They can score. And Minnesota can score. They can play defense. Green Bay. So it's not going to be easy.
Yeah. Well,
If they go 0-2, they're in trouble.
oh my goodness.
Either team.
Yes.
Either team. Denver or them.
Right. Well, the Bears will have the Redskins the following week, so they could get a win there. But you just never know in the NFL.
You don't know.
Yeah, you got it.
They played Philadelphia, the Redskins. That was the sweetest win. They talk about bad beats. I was down 12 with 2 minutes left, 4th and 20, and the Redskins make it. And then they keep the drive going. They score a backdoor touchdown. But they didn't give up. Jay Gruden, they seem to be on the same page. People have been calling for his head. But you know what? They played good against Wentz in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So, I'm not
true.
Look, can we guarantee the Bears anything the way they looked?
No, you can't. You can't. I've had high hopes for them.
I hope. I have. That should be the official song of Chicago sports teams with Frank Sinatra.
Chicago Bears fans, really.
Whoops, there goes another knucklehead.
Well done, Mike.
My gosh.
Here's the one thing that worries me about going to Denver and winning in September, which rarely happens. I think it's been a long time since the Broncos have lost a home game in September.
Yeah, well,
it's
guess
because
what? Get
players,
used to it.
Yeah,
Here we come.
Well, that's the thing. The players aren't used to the altitude, and they get tired, especially early in the season.
I'm
when
so
they're not,
sick of that.
I know, but it's
My
true.
God.
The record says it.
Yeah, in September maybe it does. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I just think, the 85 Bears, when they played Denver at Denver, I think they won that game. Maybe we could check.
Oh, sure.
I don't think they had trouble with the altitude. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they lost to them. No. Maybe they didn't even play them in 85. Maybe they played them in 84.
I don't think the Bears played the Broncos in 85, but I'm checking.
The Broncos were lucky then. The altitude wouldn't have mattered. It would make them angry if they couldn't breathe.
Oh, my goodness.
Otis Wilson would get hot.
Let's see.
I don't think they did.
No, they did not. They played the Falcons, the Dolphins, the Colts,
The Dolphin game.
Tampa Bay. Yeah, they did not. All right, so
What'd you think of the Bears coming out of the tunnel? Did you like that with the towels?
Oh yeah, I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, they came out of the tunnel.
I had a bunch of buddies at the game, and they were, so psyched up. And unfortunately, it was one of the great deflations in Chicago sports history. That town, the city of Chicago, that stadium, they were rocking, and then the players come out and lay the huge egg. It was, unbelievable.
Yeah, it was not good.
Not good at all. All right, I want to talk about. I want to talk. Did you hear about Kevin Durant?
Yeah.
Yeah. He is not happy with Oklahoma City. You pull up that article.
He's talking about from the Wall Street Journal. I cover it like a blanket.
You
don't
are
I?
good.
I think you're going to come in out of nowhere and blindside me.
I didn't know that you were a reader of the Wall Street Journal.
No, I'm not. And I didn't know Kevin Durant was. But good for him.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, so anyway, he doesn't like the business of basketball, the circus atmosphere.
Yep.
He's the guy with the fake accounts on Twitter. Really? Is this what I'm reading into here?
I think so.
This is
yeah.
the guy that left his team, basically because he couldn't beat him, join him. This is what we're talking about?
This is what we're talking about.
I think that Kevin Durant, well, you know what? He will never get credit that you would get. I don't think he'll ever get the credit
I
because
agree with
he
you.
jumped.
Yes.
He should have. I don't care, man. That's tough to do.
Well, in that Wall Street Journal.
Imagine playing in a softball league again, and then after 8 years, well, it happens in softball too. Guys leave their team and they play against somebody else. That's tough.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's tough.
And in that Wall Street Journal article, he talks about going back to Oklahoma City, and he says that it was a venomous, toxic feeling that he got when I walked into that arena, quote unquote, and just the organization.
Because he loved the team, didn't he?
Exactly. What did he expect?
What do you want?
Did he expect the open arms?
You
kisses,
jumped
and all-
ship, man. You told Westbrook to go fly a kite, and you left them with their their ball sacks in their hands.
Yes, and then you're going to a team that won an NBA championship. That's like one of the worst things.
Front runner.
Exactly.
Front runner.
What did he expect?
Come on.
I don't get it. So, I obviously I'm not walking in his shoes, but
No, because you wear a size 18 or something.
Yeah, well, that's what he wears. That's for sure.
You'd be a tall thing. Tall drink of water, my friend. Good jumper, though.
How about it?
Yeah.
Now, Team USA in that.
We lost.
Jeez, can you believe it? 89-79.
Did we send the Bulls? What the hell happened?
What did Garpax have to do with Team USA? Did
Kimball Walker. We're not winning with Kimball Walker and Donovan Mitchell in the world anymore.
Can you believe that?
Well, we got all sorts of great players. Where are they?
Yeah, well, yeah. A lot of them said they didn't want to play. They lost today, 89-79 against France. And
I'm over it.
Are you over it? Really?
I'm over that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what? I mean, you know what? If we want to, bring the best, which will happen someday if they keep. Somebody will mouth off, and then all of a sudden, Jerry Colangelo, this is it. Krzyzewski's gone. Popovich loses. That's some egg on his face there.
Right.
That's the way it goes, baby.
Right. In order to get another dream team going, I think you're going to need somebody like the chairman of Nike to get all his clients together and say, okay, I want you guys all to play for Team USA because it's going to help global sales and blah, blah, blah. If there's money behind
I can't get mad at LeBron. He's been there 2-3 times in the Olympics and stuff like that.
I'm with you. And maybe they should. I don't know what to do.
I don't care.
It is embarrassing, though.
Well, not anymore. Don't forget, I mean, Tony Parker came from France. But, we're not supposed to lose, but if we don't bring our best, we're going to lose now.
Yeah.
Australia had a good team this year. France, apparently, Rudy Gobert went off on him. Right?
Yes, they did.
I mean, come on.
Big time. Oh, my gosh. All right. So I wanted to get your take on that to see if what
I wasn't upset. In the old days, I would have been pissed.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah,
why?
This is
Fight
our
us in a
game.
war, then talk to us.
The thing is
we're in charge, baby. France, Macron, come on. But they'll rub it in. I bet you don't go to the French White House or whatever.
There's 3 sports that we should never get beat in, and that's basketball, baseball, and football. And it happened.
We've been beaten in baseball.
Yeah, we have in the Caribbean World Series. I think we lost to one of the Caribbean teams.
But you know what? It's just I know who's got the best sports, and we do.
Oh yeah.
The Miracle on Ice was still the greatest thing that ever happened.
My goodness.
That will never happen. We're amateurs from the United States, play the top pros in other countries and beat them.
Did you ever interview any of those guys from that team?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
I interviewed Eruzione.
Yeah.
I interviewed Callahan, the guy from Chicago.
Jack Callahan.
So I interviewed a couple of those guys.
Yeah. Well, that is.
They've been living large forever.
Yeah.
You
must have been about 12, 13 years old on Miracle on Ice. I'm guessing, given your age, my age. Do you recall that feeling?
12, 13 years old?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I was married 3 years already.
Really?
Was it 1980? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it was.
What, are you crazy? I was.
Miracle on Ice, was it 1980?
Yes.
Okay, let me see.
1980. Well, that's
Let me see. Miracle on Ice. I got to do a quick
1980, Lake Placid. I was watching at the bowling alley.
1980, you're right.
Yeah, I was 28 at the time.
28.
Yeah,
Holy
that was a
cow.
big deal, man. We watched that. We didn't know what happened. They had the game on tape delay.
Right.
Yeah, but thank you for
exactly.
thinking I was 12, especially after my birthday was yesterday.
That's right. Happy birthday,
Thank
Mike.
you, my friend. I'm stolen for Dick Clark's old deal. You know, America's youngest teenager, oldest teenager.
Yeah.
I'm America's youngest senior citizen. That's what I'm going to go
I'm
with.
telling you, you look very young.
I feel good.
You feel good.
I feel.
You
So
look
do you.
good.
You're dropping the weight.
I'm dropping the weight. I want to look and feel as good
Well,
as you do.
I'm sorry. I've been bringing you brownies from BB and cookies for 3 weeks, and then she gets mad at me today because I said, I forgot to tell you something. It sort of dawned on me just now. She goes, "What? Is it okay if I say Aldo's diabetic?"
That's
How?
right.
Because she makes great brownies and
Oh,
stuff
my
without
gosh.
sugar.
Oh, my
She
gosh.
goes, "You tell Aldo that I didn't know, and next week I'm making some."
Ah, how about
Like a
that?
martyr. Like you're like a martyr.
He walks into my house with these, and I'm a sucker
Butterscotch
for anything
brownies.
butterscotch. And he's
Where are
got
they? Are they
butterscotch.
around?
They're upstairs.
I'm
you want?
starving.
Oh, I'll bring you.
No,
down.
no.
You go on one of your rants.
No,
I'll
I'm
run
on a diet. I'm
upstairs.
trying to lose some weight.
All right, you know what? It is time to make some money. Ooh, yes.
Come on now. Our winners. Come on. We win it. We win every single day. Do. All right, folks. Can you lower the music a little bit? My God. The intro, I don't even know if anybody heard us. Feel like we're in a jamboree. All right.
Oh gosh.
3 picks. Last week, 2-1, ladies and gentlemen. My only loss, Texas State. They lost by 9. They didn't get it done. They were getting 7 against Wyoming. Shame on me. 2-1. That's okay. That's the way to start. Tonight, we have Houston. Just figure out what the over-under is. I saw it was 11. It might be 10.5. Houston playing the A's. Go with the over tonight. You got 2 pitchers. Their ERAs combined are about 9.5. Go with the over. Easy, Tonto.
I haven't done that in a long time.
Easy, Tonto. Anyway, over 10.5, over 11, whatever now it is. Take Houston. Now, for Friday, college football. Boston College playing Kansas.
The Jayhawks and the Eagles.
Kansas, good. Custer, gone. All right. Boston College and Kansas under. I think it's 51. Whatever it is, take the under. So we have I'm going total crazy this week.
Nice.
Houston over in baseball tonight. Boston College under tomorrow. And Sunday, New England under, ladies and gentlemen, against the Dolphins. The hapless Dolphins. I wanted to take the game, but they're getting 19. That's a bigger spread than the Jets had to contend with when they played the Colts back in the day in Super Bowl III. So, once again, Houston over, Boston College under, and New England under. Aldo, back to you.
Oh, awesome stuff. Hey, you know what? When you just went, I thought to myself,
I thought of 1981 when I was quite active.
I just got that.
Yeah. When I had torque.
I thought maybe that's my
Miracle
way.
and I don't have torque. Do you have torque?
Yes.
You still have torque?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you're young. Miracle and I, we're men without torque. It's not good.
I thought maybe I'm channeling Dan Jiggets because he used to go
All the time.
Yeah, maybe
You
that's,
don't know how many times. On the air and off.
Maybe I'm subconsciously channeling him.
Jiggs is the best, man. Hope he's doing well.
Yeah, I hope so too. He is a fabulous guy.
You know what I used to love? I'd just bury some guy. I'd be going, watch that. You know what? What a stupid pickup that was. This guy's out of his mind. He doesn't know what he's doing. He sucks. He's just absolutely hurt. And Jiggs would go, well, my guy, he definitely is not playing with a full hand right now. But anyway, I got this car wash, community car wash. He used to, after I'm burying somebody with this nice charity thing, would soften the mood. He was such a master at it. He'd have like a list of things. St. Delius is going to have a pancake breakfast. After I just, you know what I mean?
That is awesome.
Yeah, they should fire the manager. They should ship him and his whole family across the sea. Yeah, and you know what? Also, here's another thing, Mike. St. Delia's is going to have a bingo. Give and give. So he just softened the mood.
What a pro.
But sometimes,
What
yeah,
a pro.
absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely.
All right, you were just speaking about the you being over under crazy with your picks lately. Notre Dame is a 35-point favorite in their home opener Saturday against the New Mexico Lobos, according to odds makers.
You know what the name of the team should be? The New Mexico OOs.
That's right. Well, it's funny that you should say that because they're 1-7. New Mexico is against the spread in their last 8 games, but 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 games, and
Listen to you.
and they are on the road.
You know I don't care about all that, though.
I know you don't.
But I would tell you this. I hate Notre Dame has cost me, like the Bears growing up, more money than any
Really?
That school, Notre Dame is Chicago. You can hear Northwestern and Illinois. The team in this town is Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Absolutely.
After the Bears, Notre Dame.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't, Northwestern can't even fill their stadium. You know what I'm saying?
I know, it's sad.
So, I mean, even bringing Notre Dame there. So, so to me, I like to stay away from Notre Dame unless I see something, and I haven't seen anything yet. That would tell me. And you don't know what they're going to do. And that quarterback, he was a little shaky in his first game. Louisville didn't cover.
That's right.
I mean, Louisville covered with that center field.
They covered, right.
And I had them. So, although 35 is a lot of points, man.
That is a lot of points. And then in my research, I learned that Notre Dame has never been a 35-point favorite for as long as they've been keeping track of this
Get
stuff.
out of here.
Yeah. And so the
Wait a minute. They've never been a 42 or 40?
No, not since
Really?
1990, where the records still exist about
For gambling?
Yeah, for odds gambling. Yeah,
I like that.
Have never been 35-point favorites.
Well, they are now.
And
I don't touch the game. There's a million games. We talked about games you should stay away from in the NFL.
Right.
How about college? There's
Yes.
like 200 games. If you can't find a better game than that,
Really?
I mean, come on.
Well, that's not good news to Kevin Janowski, who says in the chat room that he is betting on the Lobos on that game. But I don't think that's a bad bet for him to, 35-point advantage. Start the game. 35.
Remember, the only Lobo I liked was Lobo. Me and you and a boy named Boo. Remember?
Yes.
Lobo. He was one of your kids.
That's right.
I don't know if he was Mexican.
He was Mexican.
Yeah, me
He was
and you and a
Mexican.
boy, a dog named Boo. The Lobos. They should bring him out for the coin toss. That's the only thing they're going to win. Kevin, don't do it. There's a million other good games.
All right, you heard that, Kevin. Call the bookie up and say, wait a minute. I do want to play a soundbite about Brady Quinn.
Love him.
Yeah,
I love Brady. He works for my buddy Jonas Knox.
Yeah. Right. Brady
Fox.
didn't have a great NFL career, but is really having a great career as a college football
Very
analyst.
rugged looking.
Yes, he is very handsome.
He's just kind of, see, with us, we had to use all the trickery. He could walk in, the guy's a stud.
Right. And let me tell you something. My wife does not follow sports much at all. Hockey she likes a lot. But one day I'm watching the NFL draft when Brady Quinn was coming out of Notre Dame, and she walks by, and then she starts seeing him because he was in the green room forever because he was
playing.
He sunk. So she sits down just to see these shots of Brady Quinn every once in a while.
Let me tell you something. I was at Gibson's in Rosemont. They had the convention, all the sports collectibles. Joe Montana walked in. I almost lost my wife. I go, B, so where'd she go? She loves Joe Montana, and he comes walking in. I don't need that aggravation. I'm fighting for my life over here. No, but Brady. So what did Brady Quinn have to say?
All right, so this is Brady on Fox Sports. He's talking about Notre Dame coach Brian Kelly and how he has changed over the years and how he's now delegating authority to the defensive and offensive coordinators, and he's just kind of overall managing things, and this is what he thought about that.
To be able to change this late in his career, this old in life, just tells you he's still growing, he's still improving as a head coach, and I think there's something to be said for that. It's hard to do that. It's not human nature to be able to make those changes. Usually you've built in those habits, and it's hard for you to get away from things that you may feel uncomfortable about. Taking your hands off of some of the offensive play calling or defensive play calling. And I'm sure he chimes in from here, time to time, but he's managing the team now, and now he's got the ability to watch what's happening out there on both sides of the ball or in all three phases and say, these are the changes that we need to make, or here's what I'm seeing. And then the coach can get together and come back with whatever their response is.
Stop this, please. Stop him.
I knew.
Stop him.
I knew that was going to happen.
I like Brady Quinn. Like I said, he works with my buddy Jonas Knox. I like those guys. They got a good show.
Very good
Jonas
show.
is one of my favorite people.
Great
of all
guy.
time.
You had him on the Mike North
Right.
Advantage, one of your
I love
interviews.
him.
Yeah, great guy.
But this nonsense that Brian Kelly is like hands off, wait till they have a problem. Okay? He'll be taking care of everything before you know it.
Oh,
Brian
yes.
Kelly is deferring while things are going good.
Right.
When things go bad, the nose starts to blink. His face gets red as a beet. He grabs the clipboard from the defensive coordinator. So, while things are going good, sure. It's sort of, I'll never forget, Zambrano with the Cubs. He had thrown the ball into the bleachers. And the next day, or the next time he pitched, he was a good boy. And they said, Len Casper goes, well, he's been really good out there today, because they were winning.
Yes,
Okay?
exactly. Sure.
About 3 weeks later, they were losing. He went off again. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So when Brian Kelly, if Notre Dame is losing, let's say this week, 14-3 to the New Mexico Oh-No's, then he'll lose his mind. I'm sorry. You can't change the stripes on the leopard.
Yeah.
And right now, I'm glad he's delegating authority. But when things start to get bad, he becomes Patton, and that's fine.
Yep, I hear you. The other
Remember Ditka? He had coordinators. The next thing you know, he's grabbing players.
Oh, my
he's
gosh.
grabbing the clipboard. Come on.
Yes. Mike would really show his frustration. But here's what I thought was interesting also about that clip, and that's Brady Quinn saying that a 57-year-old coach is too old to change. It's not too old to change, but too difficult. Very difficult.
He is changing, though, didn't he?
He is changing, right? But he's saying
I've changed since I was 57.
Well, that's my point.
You can keep
is it
changing.
that difficult?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. That's
No.
what he's an old guy like
People
Brian
reinvent
Queller.
themselves all the time.
I totally
I
agree.
mean, you know what? There's people that still think I'm the same guy I was in '92, and that's the way when you're in the public eye. I remember Ron LaFleur dropped the ball his first couple games in the majors, and he was a great outfielder. But because of that, he was like considered a no glove guy. So you get that reputation, and you're not. To me, I go to bed at 9 o'clock now. I used to go to bed at 9 o'clock in the morning. But
Get an hour
but
of
I've
sleep at
changed.
work.
I don't drink anymore. You know what? I really, I'm retired now for the most part. I don't go travel in the streets anymore. So things have changed.
Yeah.
I miss it so much.
Oh, you want tissue?
When I start reminiscing. And when I start doing Raging Mouth. And with the biography.
I know. You've been sharing some of the secrets or stories of your escapades.
I can't believe I had a
unbelievable.
67th birthday. My mother's 90. She called me yesterday to sing happy birthday to me.
Oh, how sweet.
She goes, I can't believe I have a son that's 67. I go, I can't believe I have a mother that's 90. Your mother's older too.
My mother is
How old's Mama Gandia?
83 years old.
God bless her. Big
Yeah.
fan of mine. Keep
Yeah.
her going.
Oh, she loves you.
I need all the help I can get.
And I visited my in-laws this morning, and my father-in-law is 85. And,
Wow.
No, 87. He's 87, and my mother-in-law is 85.
That's tremendous.
Yeah, and I was telling them about you, and they were all, I remember Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
They were super excited to
I
hear that
can't
we're
wait to
working
meet him
together.
someday.
Yeah, let's. We got to do a little family reunion kind of thing. All right, now I wanted.
I don't know what that meant. But
I don't
I'm
know.
fearful. I'm going to just walk into traffic now after hearing that little thing, a family reunion thing.
God bless the moms. Is what people are
Just
saying in the
happened,
chat
dear Lord.
room. All right, let's turn our attention for the last part of the show to baseball
Oh,
because
God, I thought we were going to get there. Oh, my God.
something terrible happened to the Milwaukee Brewers yesterday.
Oh, my man.
And I'm not talking about
I
the
have
fact.
him in the hits league.
I remember you telling me
Oh.
that. Mr. Christian
Who was
Yelich.
having a better year than Trout?
Yes.
I told everybody the last 2 years, they're saying today, a lot of people were saying the best player in baseball. Wait a minute. What happened to Mike Trout?
Yeah.
But they were saying today, Milwaukee, because without him, they showed Joe Kane. Not Joe Kane, excuse me, the linebacker for the Bears, Lorenzo Kane.
Yeah.
They showed him in the locker room on Twitter. I watched him. He was ready to cry, man.
Yeah, right. I saw that.
He was ready to cry.
I saw that.
That's like when Sayers got hurt. You miss a guy like that.
Yep. And it's a
Great
foul
ball
ball.
players.
He hits off his knee.
Wow.
What a fluke injury that
know.
is. I've got the video up. He's on the ground. He's not getting up. He's writhing in pain. The word is that once he realized that he had broken his kneecap, he started to cry.
Yeah, because the guy wants to get in the playoffs.
Exactly.
They're only one game back.
Yep.
The Cubs are crapping to bed as we speak. Madden doesn't know what day it is. I'm hearing there's some restlessness now.
Yep.
I'm hearing that, Joe, there's a little restlessness. Look, I called this on, and Aldo, Aldo used to say, you did? But now he's been here. And he's heard me say this.
That's right.
What did I say about a set lineup? Until they get a set lineup, they don't have a set lineup.
Yep.
Their leadoff man, they don't have a leadoff man. It's killed them. Somebody said today, well, their pitching, hasn't been all that good. Look what happened yesterday. Wait a minute. They gave up 2 runs the other day. Okay, the day before. Their pitching's top 10 out of all the teams. Okay, it's the hitting.
Yep.
It's the hitting.
Oh, my gosh. It's been
And you know what? Why he kept that reliever in?
Oh, my goodness.
What are you doing? He walking guys left and right, and you're keeping them in the game. It's the ball game.
Steve
Kisner.
Cizek or whatever its name. Unbelievable. I couldn't believe. I was throwing stuff at the TV saying, when are you going to lift this
You know
guy?
what? His name is Steve C-Section. That's what he gave us. Guy gave every Cup fan a C-section last night. Christ.
But
what's Madden doing?
yeah, it's almost like he's purposely throwing the games.
They go, hey, coach, there's a blind guy on lookout on top of the Titanic. He'll be fine. How's the visibility? What the hell's the matter with you?
Oh, my goodness. So now the Cubs have lost, 4 of their last 5 games.
And you know, him and Bryant had good days. Rizzo and Bryant had a pretty good day together.
Yeah, each of them, Hayward had 2 home runs. Bryant hit 2 home runs.
This
Finally,
team was supposed to dominate.
Yeah. And what is it with Chris Bryant now? He told Jesse.
He's got a bad knee. He's got a bad shoulder. Then he's playing. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, he said that he feels awful that he's not playing well.
I feel awful to watching him playing until yesterday.
So you've got Bryant and Yelich on your hits league, huh?
Yeah, how's that for everything?
How much are you going to lose there?
There's some rope right there by the lower drawer by the garbage can.
Yeah, I keep it there for a good
That's
reason.
right. Is that the freight stuff? Yeah, give it to me. It doesn't leave marks. Are you kidding me? It's ridiculous.
It is really, really sad what is happening with the Chicago
and you know
Cubs.
what? And you know what? The Cubs, I had them dominating for 10 years, not trying to sneak into the wild card.
Right.
And we're going to play Washington? Mm-hmm. And then we got Oakland and Tampa Bay in the other one.
Oh, my goodness.
Right now. How do you like that for a wild card? Cleveland's on the outside looking in. They're a half game out, though.
Right.
But they play hard.
They do. They do play
And
hard.
then the other day, Schwarber's hitting grand slams for about 2 weeks, 3-1.
Right.
And then he decides to move him up to number 2, and he goes 0 for 4. Why are you moving him up? He doesn't understand the concept of a working set lineup where players know their roles. Every day when you bat a player, once you bat him first, then you bat him third, then you bat him seventh, what am I supposed to do? What's my role as a hitter in that slot?
Right. Yep.
You don't have an identity.
Well,
I'll never forget, if they lose by 1, the Contreras in right field game, that will be the game I will point at. He lost his mind. He put a catcher that never played right field out there, and it was a nightmare. And you know what? They've been stop and go ever since.
I'm telling you, you are writing Joe Madden's eulogy because I don't think he's going to get rehired. I don't think it's going to happen.
I'll tell you, it seems like they need a more of a traditional guy now. They need a guy that's going to go, okay, you're my leadoff man for the whole season.
Thank you.
You better get good.
Yes.
You're going to bat second.
Right.
Bryant, you're going to be penciled in as my third hitter for. I mean, look what happened with Hayward. Hayward was hitting great, right? Mm-hmm. What does he do? Puts him at leadoff. He hits 167 for the month. He ruins these guys.
He does.
He takes the bats out of their hands. Schwarber's feeling comfortable. The other night he goes 2 for 4. The next day he's batting second after batting sixth. You don't do that.
I don't get it.
You don't do that.
I don't get it.
And he manages like it's May.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I loved the
then
guy.
He rested Bryant and Hayward 2 weeks ago because they got in late. You're fighting for a pennant here.
Exactly. What's going on?
What the hell is going on around here?
You know, and you and I lived through the '69 Cubs collapse, which is probably one of the biggest collapses in all of
But you know what's scary? The Mets
baseball
were
history.
good that year.
Yes, they were.
And you know what's even scarier? The Cardinals are doing the same thing.
Yes,
It's not that the Cubs are playing that bad.
Right.
It's the damn Cardinals are winning almost every day.
They are, and well, that's why I brought up the '69 Cubs because it just feels
holy
like
mackerel. No doubt about it. Those Cubs are. I mean, we were celebrating in July.
Oh, we were.
How arrogant could you be? Santos clicking his heels. Dick Selma's waving the towel. We're walking on walls. They're putting in fences. We're losing. People are falling on the field. And then in October, the place is getting ready for the Bears.
Exactly. It was a monumental collapse. You young people out there, the Cubs are up 10
All you
games
young
in the
second
standings.
baseman out there.
September 1st, 10 games in the standings, and then all of a sudden, it's like they couldn't win a game. They go to New York.
On
and
the
Black
other
Cat-
side of town, I hear Steve Stone saying his hanging ball is pretty effective because when it hangs, it breaks. What are you talking about? I'm hearing him last night.
Well,
And you know, and I like, look, Eloy hit another bomb.
Yes.
He's got 25 home runs, 59 RBIs.
That's right.
You know, but you know what? I just don't see the pitching. I just don't see it happening next year. I'm hoping it does. It's going to be an interesting year. There's more. I just love what Boston did. Boston gets rid of their GM after winning the World Series because they sucked this year, and Kenny Williams is on a lifetime deal.
Dave Dombrowski fired. Unbelievable.
Because they expect to win. They don't like to be back of the Yankees 17 and a half games. They don't play over there. They don't play this loyalty game. You don't win. And by the way,
they won the World Series a year ago,
I can say this to you. Cora, he deserves to go too.
Really?
They fired John Farrell after they won the World Series, and then the next year he crapped the bed. So I don't know why he gets to stick around. This time they fired a GM.
You think Cora is going to replace Joe Madden here in Chicago?
Alex Cora or Joey Cora? Joey Cora's been wanting the job. He's the third base coach for the Pirates. I don't think so. I don't want Alex Cora.
No.
I'm disappointed in him too. He should have gone too. I think they saved him. I think they gave him the benefit of the doubt. They didn't give Farrell. Farrell had been other places. I want to see what happens next year. Because it's not Cora's fault that Chris Sale went down.
Right.
They had injuries like everybody else. But the Yankees have just been bombing.
I
look at the Yankees pitching. I don't know how they're doing it.
I don't know either. I mean, it's the home run ball.
Well, yeah, basically. They got monsters.
Yeah. Dave Dombrowski grew up in Oakland, Illinois.
He should still be the Sox GM.
That's right.
You know,
he should.
Look, he gets rid of La Russa, Dombrowski, Leland. I mean, you're getting rid of studs, man.
Yes.
Doug Collins. I mean, guys like that are a stand. Then they go somewhere else and have success.
Yeah, that's you're breaking my heart.
And we got Kenny Williams.
You still mad at Kenny?
Wow. Him and his favorite puppet. There hasn't been a puppet as big as Rick Hahn since Garfield Goose. My God.
Getting back to the Cubs momentarily, you said you'd love to see a more traditional manager come in. I would like to see a fiery manager, somebody like Ozzie Guillen.
Yeah, you know what? That would be something if
Wouldn't
they
that
brought
be
Ozzy
something?
in. He lost his mind too. But there's fiery manager. I don't even know if there's a room for fiery managers anymore.
Yeah.
Because they don't. Everything's replay. Clint Hurdle's a fiery manager. Look at their team. They'll find somebody. If maybe Joe comes back. What happens if they get in the wild card? They beat Scherzer and they win the World Series.
Well, that would be unbelievable.
That would be like me being the valedictorian at Harvard. Are you kidding?
I just think that they need somebody to fire this team up. But the thing that I'm most troubled by is how coddled these players are. And I think if they bring in a fiery manager to the Cubs, they will start crying,
How
like
about
little
Zobrist?
kids.
How's he been doing?
Leadoff spot, he's been doing okay, right?
He goes 0 for 3 yesterday. He
Okay.
makes another error in the field.
Oh,
2
really?
days in
I
a row.
didn't know that. I missed
That's
that.
what I get paid the big bucks
That-
for.
that- that's why-
No, I mean, you know what? I mean, they're trying to catch magic here. Baez got hurt, guys. Addison Russell's hurt.
Yeah, that's bad
I mean,
news.
this is some bad stuff.
Yep.
We got our relief pitchers, Kimbrough. It's not good.
It's not good.
I mean, I don't know why there's not. And in the meantime, I mean, we'll see what happens. But they got to gut it up. The Cubs got to gut it up.
They need to kill some chickens.
Joe Boo.
Yes, exactly. They need to do that
I love Joe Boo.
satanic thing,
Joe Boo does Allstate commercials now.
That's right. That is
Dennis
the same
Haysbert.
guy.
Didn't you know that?
I forgot.
That's Dennis Haysbert.
Yes, he did a great job in that movie. Is that what is your favorite baseball movie of all time, Mike?
I'll tell you one. That's one that doesn't get talked about. I like 8 Men Out.
Yes,
I like that one.
That is a classic.
I like Field of Dreams. You know what I think's overrated? Bull Durham. I'm not a fan.
That's my favorite baseball movie.
It is? See?
Yeah.
Well,
What don't you like about it?
yeah, minor leaguers, they're having fun, I like the hockey movie Youngblood with Rob Lowe.
I
It's
never
sort of
saw
like
that one.
Oh my God.
Eric Nestorenko was in that one,
yes,
right?
he was.
Yeah, I've never saw that.
Yeah,
I
it's
wanted
a
to
great
see-
movie.
I got to check it out.
Rob Lowe is Youngblood.
Yeah.
It shows you how they act when they're like 18.
Yeah.
They're insane hockey players. We know they're all nuts.
Well, the best hockey movie of all time is the Paul Newman Slapshot movie.
You know what? I liked Youngblood. It's underrated. Slapshot's good. I mean, there's so many good movies. The Natural I liked. Mm-hmm. The baseball movies. Field of Dreams is my. Burt Lancaster, come on.
Yeah.
How do you go? They said he walked on the set. He was on the set for 2 days. People were like standing there in awe, It's Burt Lancaster. He was in The Killers in 1941.
Yeah.
Now it's 1986 and he's with a bunch of young people.
How about that, huh?
Moonlight.
Lancaster is one of my favorite actors. Him and Robert Mitchum. You're not a big Mitchum fan.
I love Mitchum.
Oh, okay.
But I like Lancaster better.
Yeah.
I think Lancaster was a better actor.
Oh, yeah. He was.
And he was always in shape.
Yeah.
Do you know what I saw last night? This was sad. I look for mistakes in movies. It's what I do. Got a lot of time in my hands. And in The Horse Soldiers with John Wayne and William Holden,
Okay.
near the end, he says, "Get this girl out of here." He goes, "Let's ride out of here." And they show him walking away, and William Holden's talking. And as John Wayne is trying to get his foot into the stirrup, it shows it 3 tries. He couldn't do it.
Really?
And then they just cut.
Oh, my
another
gosh.
scene.
I'm
And it looked bad.
surprised.
Yeah.
I'm
Check
shocked.
it out next time.
I will.
I'll call you.
I
go,
love-
here it is. He's going to have trouble here.
Yeah, just kidding.
He looked, you know what he looked like?
Who's that?
Just some fat accountant from Orange County at that point. You know what I mean? With a cowboy outfit on.
Well, what was the movie where he got punched and
North
and
to
his toupee-
Alaska,
Yeah.
and his toupee flies off, and they don't cut it. Ruin my year. I never knew he was bald.
Can you believe
But
that?
Bogart was bald. Sinatra
Yeah.
was bald.
Yes.
I mean, all these guys.
I'm telling you.
You know who wasn't
Bogart-
bald? Presley.
That's right. That's right.
That's my going. I got a head of hair. I ain't losing it. In the meantime, pass me the phenobarbital, will you please? What the hell's happening here?
Bogart had a great toupee. I saw.
I watch movies with him. With that, he had one of the best toupees of all time.
Right?
And once in a while, you'll see it maybe a little bit
Yeah.
of a bald spot on
Exactly.
the back guard because there was no HD back then.
right.
HD now. Wow.
Oh, man.
You see everything.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yes. All right. You want to give a shout out to Vegas Scores and Odds?
You know
and
what?
then I'll-
I'd like to say this on behalf of everybody. Vegas Scores and Odds. You just go to my profile at North to North, okay? Vegas Scores and Odds, North to North, NORTH, number 2, NORTH. You go there, you have the front page, you have the tote board, okay? For free picks, dial 1-800-813-9646. 1-800-813-9646 for an absolutely free recorded message. They're great people over there. You got great handicappers. It's a great deal, so check it out. Also, we're going to be on Monday at 1 o'clock. Wednesday at 3 o'clock. Make sure you follow me. We're going to have some fun. Aldo, was a great time today as usual, my friend.
Yes. You know what? I'm looking forward to Wednesdays so much now to spend time with you here in the Man Cave Studios.
Is that going to be changed soon, or am I going to be adopted? I heard.
right.
I heard we're working on something.
I'm getting you a locker room here.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
right where that door is. I don't know where that leads, but I'm a little worried.
It's very cold and musty
Yeah.
behind that door.
Like the Bear locker room was after the Green Bay game.
Yes, exactly. All right, Mike, say goodbye to your
So
friends.
long, everybody.